So I'll give you the quick 10-minute complete overview, and then we'll go into the website stuff. So you log in at app.siteright.co. That's where you log in with your username and password. When you come to your login, you're going to see Launchpad, which it's just like telling you to do stuff, but doesn't really matter. The main homepage is going to be your dashboard page. For you, a lot of this stuff is not going to be applicable kind of right now, because this is all kind of tied to a sales pipeline and assigning, how much a potential customer might be worth. So until you get your custom merch, until we start selling your custom merch, a lot of this won't necessarily matter.
Right.
But once that you get this up, you could potentially also have like a customer support VA who is helping you respond to customer support emails. They could have an account in here, and they could follow the tasks that you set or the automations that we set up in the automation section to like do something. So for instance, if a client responds to you or DMs you being like, hey, where's my order? You could make a task for the VA, and then the VA could then send that out, or you could have an automation set up, send that a notification out to the customer automatically. There's like a lot of things that could be done throughout the platform, but this is a good place to kind of consolidate where everything is in this dashboard view.
Yeah.
Conversations tab is kind of like your texting app on your phone. So all messages, regardless if they're an Instagram DM, a text message, an email, or a phone call, will pop up into this feed and look like just like a normal texting window. So it'll have like a white box here, and then there will be a little text box down here, and you can type in your message, or you can even select templates based on some templates that we make in the marketing section. But all of this can be done, and this is like for quick communication. When you want to talk to a person in real life, so this is the contacts view. If you wanted to like send someone a quick email, you could select their contact and you could send them an email and type in whatever it is that you want. Or if you have a template, you could select the template, and that will just send the template. And a lot of the templates have like dynamic tags. So you could say contact first name, and it would replace it with Ross.
Cool.
So yeah, so conversations, if I would respond back to you, that would pop up in the conversation tab. The calendars is where you can connect your Google Calendar, and you can create basically a Calendly situation. So if you want to create a way for people to book calls with you, you can create a calendar, and you can connect Zoom even. And it basically will allow people to create a calendar, and then it'll look something like this.
Nice.
Select the day and time, and then you can customize the form and questions based on what you want. There's a lot of different options, and kind of how you everything's customizable in every place always.
Cool.
So for you, calendars probably, unless you do like coaching or something, but calendars probably won't be too applicable.
Yeah.
So we're back in the context tab. This is where you'll be here quite a bit. One of the most important things about like contacts and how SiteRight organizes contacts is tags, contact tags. Tags can be used globally throughout the software. So for instance, if you added a tag, like let's say a customer asks, oh, I want a refund. You could add a refund tag here. You could add a refund tag, and the system will recognize that you're adding that specific tag. And if we have an automation set up, a workflow automation to say, when you add the refund tag to a client, the SiteRight software will send that client an email. It will automatically process the refund in Stripe, and then it will send them a confirmation email saying, your order's been refunded. And that
Wow.
can happen
That's
all
cool.
automatically without having to do anything. It's just by adding a tag.
Yeah.
The other good thing about adding tags is you can create smart lists. So if you want to create a smart list, you can basically use these filters that you can filter at pretty much every level of the contact. And so if you click into a contact, you have, and this is like what the conversation tab will look like normally. So you can, and if you have a phone number in here, and this won't be enabled for you yet. We'll enable it after this call. Another option for SMS will pop up, and then that's how you can text somebody. In this left-hand column, you have all of the information about the client and what active workflow automation campaigns they're a part of. If they have an opportunity that's in a pipeline, to know, like, this person's been booked. Again, it's probably not applicable to you, but if someone books a meeting, they could be in the book meeting column and then move over to another column that can change.
Yeah.
General info is just kind of more general info. Additional info, this can be customized based on custom fields and custom questions. So if you want to know something specific, like how much do you weigh, you could put in a weight custom field. And
That's
then
cool.
have options for people to fill that in, whether if they respond to you through a survey, or if they just tell you some information in some other way, you can come in here and manually add this information and then click save. And then that information is always attributed to this person. And what's really cool is you can create a smart list based off of the responses or items that are in a custom field. So you could make a filter customers who weigh only over 100 pounds.
Interesting. That's cool. Wow. That's pretty powerful, man.
Pretty powerful. When you have lots of contacts in here and you select a lot of things, you can send out things in drip sequences, or you can send things out over like a period of time. Like you basically have full control over when it is that you want. So you can schedule something in advance, or you can send it in drip. Typically, this will allow you to send like large quantities of emails without getting hit with spam or like people complaining or unsubscribing.
Yeah.
So opportunities and pipelines. This is that kind of standard sales pipeline process where you can move opportunities across the way. So if I wanted to add an opportunity to this, just for the sake of the example, now there's an opportunity that can be dragged across.
Oh, that's cool.
And so, like, let's say you have a call with somebody, you can enter in your notes here, and then those notes are attributed towards the person if you go towards their notes tab.
Nice. Okay.
The idea is, like, even though you have like you can interact with a customer here, you can interact with the customer here or wherever, all the information is always going to be consolidated into this one view.
Yeah, man. That's dope.
Payments
integrated
is where you can connect your Stripe account. And this is going to be kind of the best way to run transactions for digital products, your community. We want to do like a monthly membership. This is how we're going to set all of that up. So it integrates directly with Stripe. And then when you create a product in SiteRight, it will automatically sync with your Stripe account. And this is how everything can stay synced. So when you create it in SiteRight, it then gets updated in the backend in Stripe automatically.
Yeah. Okay, dope.
Okay, so now we're getting into the fun bits. So marketing tab, there's a few things. The social planner is basically like where you can schedule your posts. It's pretty lightweight in terms of like functionality and ability. So if you have a flow already in terms of posting, like I wouldn't recommend changing it to use this. sometimes like over automating things can lead to a loss of productivity. So this is really good if you have no things in, so you already kind of have your system in place. I wouldn't even use this for you.
Okay. Yeah.
Emails, templates are where you can make email templates. So there's a huge gallery of like kind of options of pre-built templates that you can use, or you can just build one from scratch. But the builder that is used throughout SiteRight is pretty much the same throughout the email builder, the funnel builder, the website builder. It's all this kind of drag and drop, plug and play type situation. So if you want to add an image, you just add an image. If you want to add more texts, you can just add more text.
Cool.
If you want to change the settings of the email, this is important. So you can preset these to be something based off of the flow. So for instance, if it's a confirmation email or something, you don't want people to reply to that email. So you could have the from email address be do not reply at read@redrone.com.
Oh, nice.
And stuff like that. And then these templates can then be used in all those other places I mentioned earlier, as well as in the automation section. The other template section is for SMS templates. And so this is also pretty self-explanatory. You just write out the SMS and you can then use that in the automation section.
Sweet.
Trigger links are SiteRight's version of like trackable links. So you can add a link to anything, any website, and give it a name. And if you then use this specific trigger link in an email or something, and somebody clicks on that link, in the contact tab on the person's contact under activity, under this tab, it will show the time and date of when they clicked that link.
Wow. Dang, that's pretty crazy. So so that's basically like UTM. Do you get, or what kind of data do you get from that? Is it just the click?
It's pretty much, yeah, it's pretty lightweight. It's just the click and the time and like where, you know, which click it is. So right here is trigger links.
Okay.
This in here, it adds this code. So if you just leave it as this code, it will pop up as a clickable link for the user, and it will look like the URL will be something to the effect of like message sender.info. A bunch of characters. It'll be crazy. So what you can actually do here is you can actually take this and you can apply it as a link URL.
Oh, to text. Yeah. Yeah. Smart.
And click save. And links are not automatically by default given a underline or a different color. So you have to manually do that and manually customize that. The platform doesn't assume anything. So you have to customize it to, and, you know, and tell it and, you know, create it how you like.
Yeah.
But that's why we're providing free onboarding for everybody, because then we can help and provide that information right up front instead of having to struggle to figure it out.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Automation. So to create a new workflow, we want to select start from scratch and then create new workflow. And the first thing that we want to do is set this workflow trigger. And this is the if this happens. So if we click this, we can see that these are all the things that it allows us to run a trigger off of. So in the example earlier, we talked about adding a contact tag. So we could have a workflow trigger that will execute when a contact tag is added to a person. And then I don't think we added any, so I don't think this will have any. Yeah. Oh, here we go. So contact tag survey submitted. So when somebody submits a survey, this workflow will run. So what do we want to have happen when something like this runs? Well, typically we could send the person an email. So you type in all of your stuff, or you can use a template. Or if you're collecting their phone number, you could send them an SMS. You could also do like some crazy stuff where you could record a voicemail and it will call the person and hang up immediately and then give them and drop them your voicemail.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's like this is a playground of stuff. So a lot of the basic ones that are gonna be done for you will probably just be email notifications and like small admin stuff, but nothing that's really gonna automate or, quote unquote, run your business per se.
Right.
And finally, we have the sites tab, which has most of the goodies here. So on the top tab, we have funnels, websites, memberships, forms, blah, blah, blah. So funnels and websites are similar in the sense that you create them in the same way. They use the same exact builder. They look the same, except funnels are built and mentally, visually look like this. They're like vertical cylinders.
Yeah.
Whereas websites are more horizontal and they go out like this way.
Yeah.
And so with funnels, it's all about like, we want to force people to do a certain set of processes. And with that, it's pretty simple. It's like you do this page, then you do this page, then you do this page.
Yeah.
So in the form of e-commerce, it's, you add to cart, you initiate checkout, completed purchase, thank you page.
Yeah.
And in the stats section this is where you can see all the stats about how people are converting through this funnel. So how many people are converting at each level and then moving to the next level.
Nice. Yeah.
So if you want to edit it, all you have to do is you can just click on the image, or you can click the little edit tab in the bottom. I just clicked into it like that. And then it's organized into like a hierarchy structure. So it starts with a layout. Then you add a row. And everything's color coordinated. So the first thing's green, rows are blue, and then elements and elements are orange or whatever.
Oh, that's why. So I had, I guess, a section at the top, and then I added a row, and then you add the comments, and you can't add an element until the rest of it has been done.
Yeah, so it's
you
like
can't add an element to a row. Okay, I think that's what I was missing.
You can't add an element to like a section.
Yeah.
So the one kind of tricky thing is images. So with images, it's all done with URLs. So in the background of SiteRight, you have your own media library where you can upload and store all of your files, including like PDFs and all other files that you may like want to just send people. So to change this image, you have to click this button next to the image link right here. And this is going to open up your media folder. And so you can upload files here.
Yeah.
So double click or select it, and you have the link right here. So you can copy this link.
Oh, and then just paste it in there.
And then
cool. Okay.
Change like the size. You can change the size. And then if you want it to be a button, you can make it a button.
Cool. Yeah, it's pretty easy.
And then we just want to click save. And this is the section that I added my name in that got it to rank. So I just added in my name, colon, my username, and then same thing in description. And
wow. Well, and then a bunch of people visiting it from, I mean, it's got to be based on visits, right? It just wouldn't do that automatically on Google.
True. That's very true. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, it's because a bunch of people are going there, but more people are going to that page than your, fucking Facebook or
my Facebook.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cool. So websites are very similar, and I can drop in some other templates in here for you. But I mean, this link in bio template will be pretty much what we can start working with. And so we can just customize this however you'd like. So like,
Yeah,
oh, this section's gray. And this will be something that you can like play around with. And you'll find out how you want it to look.
Yeah.
But it's pretty self-explanatory. Like it's just, it's clicking and then find the section to edit the section in the left-hand column and then click it.
Yeah.
Okay, memberships is where you can create your digital products, your digital courses, forms and surveys. Forms are going to be like lead capture forms. So like just an email text box with a submit button, or something a little bit more intense, like asking custom questions. So for instance, if you wanted to add a custom question, you could come here, add it and change. So let's say you wanted to change one of these custom fields. If you just went in here and clicked it and tried to change, you're like, okay, well, how do I change the options in here? This is another example of a global field in SiteRight. It's a global thing. So in order to change that, there's actually a section called custom fields in your settings. And so if you go in here, you can actually, this is where you can change those options.
Oh, cool.
Do whatever you want.
Interesting. Okay.
So then these can be used in your forms or surveys later on.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that's because it goes between either.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And if it doesn't update automatically, you just have to select it and delete that section. But yeah, so you just click the X and then re-add it. And so forms are then used in the calendar section. And then you can use them kind of, wherever you want. The main difference between forms and surveys is kind of and everything. But when you're going through the options, yeah, one question at a time, progress bar, animation. These are all things that you can use to make it like look more.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And this is the way that I'm able to collect all that information about my audience, is through these surveys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Chat widget is like a little pop bubble that you can put on your website, and then people can respond to that. Media is the media folder, and URL redirects is after you add your domain, you can just make URL redirects in here. So you can do turntzone.com/go, and then /Amazon, and you could have that redirect to your Amazon storefront.
Oh, nice.
Reputation is when you connect to your Google My Business page, and you can automatically collect reviews. So probably not going to be needed by you. And then reporting is where you can connect all your ad platforms. Again, probably not very applicable. Yeah. This is going to show you how to connect your Gmail. It's pretty straightforward. You need to create a app with Gmail. There's a video here that explains it right here. If you have any problems, just let me know.
Okay.
This is very straightforward. It should be pretty easy to do. And then in settings, you have all your business information. You got your billing section, your staff section where you can add more people, pipelines for all your opportunities. Your profile is going to be where your actual stuff is. So this is where you can actually connect your Zoom. Calendars is where you can connect your calendar. Phone numbers is where we'll create a Twilio account for you. And then you can create a business phone number. So that way people could text your business phone number, and then you don't have to give out your personal phone number.
Yeah.
And then custom fields we went over, custom values, not very applicable. And then domains, here's where you can add your domain. Super easy. It's one A record pointing towards this value in your DNS. So which turn info, turn zone?
Zone, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so manage, okay. So we're gonna go to DNS. And we're going to copy this value. And we're going to copy your domain. And
Yay. The 2 exclamation points. That's a big deal. It's huge.
so now that your domain is in here, now you can select it on any of
Sorry.
the things. So you go into your settings and then you can select your domain. Right here. And then there's a lot of different paths. And this is where the URL redirects come into play. So let's say for some reason you can't get it to be the right one that you want or whatever. You can always just make a redirect.
Mm,
If you want it to be the actual domain, so it's it not being a path, if you want people to be able to type into their browser turn.zone,
yeah.
it goes towards the thing.
Mhm.
When you have completed the website or funnel that you want to have that domain be associated with, you would come into this section and select the page for that root URL.
Okay.
And this would then tell people and show people like, oh, if you went to this, it might not work because it's not published, but let's see. Yeah, it's not published. But this would then go towards that this website. That's right. Oh,
Cool.
It just took
Just
a
took a
second.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, so everything's working fine.
Dope.
So yeah, so that's how you connect your domain. Media redirects, went over integrations is where you can connect all your stuff. And Mailgun and SMTP, you're going to be using your Gmail.